Hey, what's up? Welcome to your 19th tutorial on how to create an FPS game. And I managed to find some time, even though I was really lacking some. And today we're going to do something very exciting, something very unique. You're not going to find this tutorial anywhere else on YouTube. And that's what we're going to make is grenades. And we're going to make them with beautiful explosions. So, first, to start off, I first want to bring in the explosions package that you might have seen in the update. So I'm gonna put a link up to download this, but in general, you can download this from the Unity website. Just go to unity.com, and you go somewhere in support or downloads. You just have to browse around, and just in case you didn't find it, I will post a link to download it. I'll upload it to Mediafire and post a link to download the package. But what I'm going to do is import new package, custom package. It's called the detonators package. It's really cool. It's realistic explosions. Comes with sounds and everything you need. I really am impressed by that. So yeah, I've had it quite some time actually, but I really didn't have a chance to use it until now. So yeah, it's going to be really awesome. You'll see it. So what you'll get in here is all these folders. Now it might overwhelm you a bit, but what I need you to do first of all is go into the test scene. Notice the scene icon is Unity. Open the scene. Yes, I want to save it. Alright, now play the scene. Now in here, if you saw in the previous tutorial, you get a wall and you get to test all the explosions. Now I've already chosen an explosion for my game. So you choose one from the detonators package, or you can create your own with a particle system. However you want it. I'm just going to use this because it's really awesome. So you go into prefabs, and here you have all the explosions packed in a nice, neat little prefab. So I'm going to use the upwards, right? But before I can actually bring into the game, first we want to make an instantiation of grenades. Now, to represent a grenade, we're going to get a small sphere. So create other sphere. Great. Set its size to 0.2 of the original size it comes in. Great. Now, this is not yet our grenade. This will first act as our grenade spawn. Right? So, if it's going to be a grenade spawn, first make sure this is how it's going to look like when you spawn a grenade. Just going to shoot outwards. So position where you'd like the grenades to start from. Like them to start from here. Great. Now remove the sphere collider. Actually, first duplicate it. Call it grenade spawn. Grenade spawn. And drag it inside of camera. So its rotation, it will rotate like the gun. Alright? And then now remove its collider and uncheck its renderer. Now you got one outside and you got one inside. Now the one inside, that's going to act as our grenade. So I want to attach components to it. So first we'll need a rigid body. Right? And yeah, I think from here on we can go on our own. We can go create our script. So first what we'll need is a script that will spawn the grenades, right? So create JavaScript, and I'm just gonna call this throw, right? It's gonna be a very simple script, and what it's gonna do is instantiate on a key hit. It's gonna instantiate the grenade, which we'll define here. Grenade of type transform, and on key hit G or whatever key hit you choose, it will instantiate the grenade and add force to it. Now that's really why I put on the rigid body, not only so it would have like real life physics, is also that we could add force to it. So it would just, the amount of force, it takes the amount of force and it does some calculation on it to really give it a sense of throw. So it won't just go directly and then fall. It will go like dynamically in an angle. So if you're positioning it straight, it will go like this. Position it a little up, it will go like this. So that's the main use of rigid bodies here. So yeah, let's continue this. We want to instantiate, if I spelled that correctly, grenade. Now here we want to put transform dot position and transform dot rotation, right? And then we need to define another variable, which is power. So how strong is our player, how long it can throw it, and set that to float. I'm going to set that by default to 1000 because that's the right amount of force we need to add to it. Keep changes. Sorry, it's the annoying new editor with the new Unity. By the way, you don't have to upgrade your Unity to follow these tutorials. This will work on basically even Unity 2.0. It's very basic stuff. So now we want to first put that in a variable. So var temp equals. So now what this will do is it will both instantiate, it will both create a game object and put that game object in this variable for us. Now we want to add force to it. So temp dot rigid body dot add. Did I spell rigid body correctly? I think it's like this. Rigid body. No, it's like this. Dot add force. Alright. And now here we want to set the direction times the power. Right? So transform. Make sure it's not a vector 3, otherwise it will throw in the same direction all the time. So I want to make it transform dot forward. So it's the transforms forward, not the vector 3's forward. And then just times that by power. And that. And now, first we need to put this, call it grenade, and put it in a prefab. Great. Now delete that. Put throw onto our grenade spawn. And set grenade as its object. So now if you press G, it spawns a ton of them. Alright? And that's because it takes us, a while to push the key down and let it go. And so it checks that every frame, and so it will instantiate a bunch of grenades. And we don't want that. We want it only when we release the key, so it will instantiate only once. So we do get key up. And now, watch this. There, we get only one. And notice it also can throw it to a distance or close thanks to the rigid body dot add force. Right. So now we want to make the grenade script. So we want to create new JavaScript and call this grenade. Simple as that. And add it to the grenade. Add it to the grenade. There we go. Sorry for that. Alright, now we got it all open. And let's start. We don't need these two functions, two events, and you'll see why. The event we need is we want to check once it hits the floor, right? So once the grenade hits the floor, we want to do all our stuff. So what the fuck? Right. Function on collision enter. Great. What the hell? I don't know what's going on with this stupid editor. You shouldn't download the new Unity. It sucks balls. Alright. So now on collision enter. And now here we want to put everything we want to do once it hits something, anything. Alright. So first we want to get the explosion, and we want to make an explosion once it hits the floor. Right? So var effect, we'll call it, is of type transform. And you can actually put confetti on here or whatever you want. I'm gonna put an explosion. So instantiate things like that, yeah. Effect transform dot position, which is the object's position when it hit the ground. And we want just regular rotation, the regular object's rotation. So quaternion dot identity. Great. And after we did that, we want to destroy the grenade because we're done with you, grenade. So destroy game object. Just like that. Alright, now let's see what this will give us. So first, let's set the effect to the explosion we wanted. Detonator, prefab examples, and I want it upwards. So just make that window a bit bigger so I can work with it. Alright. Upwards. There we go. Got it on there. And now let's see how that works. Perfect. Now this might be a bit of a big explosion, but you know, fuck it. You know, I want it like that. I want it big and awesome. You can make it however you want. I just like that. No, I think it really brings some action into your game. You can get some particles flying. Right. So you'll notice it really clouds up your scene. Excuse me, because it makes lots of explosions. See? So we wanna destroy these explosions once they're done, or actually they destroy themselves. Oh great. So we don't need to make that. We don't need to do with that. We can close all this. So yeah, I thought that would be a bit different, but turns out they destroy themselves, so lucky us. Alright, now the last thing we want to do before our grenade is ready is we want it to give damage. Now this is a bit complicated because we want to make it so that the further away the person from the grenade, the less damage he takes, and eventually if he's a certain distance he won't take any damage at all. So we need to set the damage of the grenade accordingly. So first, we'll make a power. And now this power variable will act as both range, radius, explosion radius of the grenade. Set that to 15 by default. This will act both as radius and as damage. And now, right before we do all our effects and cool shit, we want to calculate. So first we'll need to get all the game objects and then check each one for its distance from the grenade. And now we do that by making a variable, making an array here. It doesn't have to be here, it could be inside the function, but I just want to show you that it works. So var obj1, well, enemy we'll call it. So type game object and make it an array. Great. Now we want to set enemy equal to game object, and now here's the main, the real trick here. It's a object that comes with Unity, not an object, a function that comes with Unity, and it's called find game object with tag. Bit long, but it's very self-explanatory. It takes this tag and it checks the entire scene for all the game objects with this tag and stores it in an array of game objects. And we set that, the return value of that, to this. So first of all, we want to check for all the enemies, and then check for all the players because we want both of them to take damage. So var enemy, and now for go game object in enemy. So for each For each game object in the array enemy, wanna set a variable called go for it, and you'll get how that works. So first I want to make sure I type this correctly because I don't really remember it. So yeah, I typed it correctly. So you got that just there. Now back into our editor. So now once we're now here, we treat it like we're treating a single game object, because this will do this because it's a loop. It will loop over whatever we put here for each game object in the array. So for each game object, we want to check the distance. So var dist equals vector3 dot distance. And now remember, it's a game object, not a transform. So you first have to reference the transform, and then only can you reference the position. So go, which is our current object that we're currently looping on, dot transform, because it's a game object, dot position, right? And we want to check position from this and from our grenade. So transform dot position. Lovely. Now var distance equals that. And now if dist is less than power, so if it's still less than power, so if the range is still on, still within the radius of the explosion, then get the enemy script. So go dot transform dot get component dot well, not dot yet, but AI health, because this is currently only for the enemies, dot health is minus equals power. And now because we want to make it, that the further away from the explosion it is, the less damage it takes, then we want to put damage, which is power, minus the distance. So the bigger the distance, the less the power. Incredible, huh? So yeah, that's basically the script. And now let's check how it's doing. What the hell? Unexpected token, go. Alright, what am I doing wrong? Hold on. Let me just pause it for a sec. Right, sorry about that. Found my error, and we need to put a var before this because it's a variable. We can't set a variable without a var. So now let's test how this works. Aim and press G. Whoops, my bad. Let me check myself. Another flaw. Misspelled position. Let me just check for more flaws. Getting so excited, making mistakes. So yeah, I currently don't see any more flaws, so let's test that out one more time. Cross your fingers, and another error, of course. Right, fine. I've bulletproof tested it. Missing another eye here, that's all. There are no more errors, I assure you. I'm sorry for that. And now one last test. Perfect. See how it went down with that dynamic damage? So if it's really close to the grenade, bam, it takes a ton of damage. But if it's right here, it didn't take any damage at all because it was too close. See, it took a lot less damage. So yeah. Now it took 8 damage. Now it took a ton. So yeah, that is all for the grenades tutorial. Be sure to mess around with this code. Customize it however you want. You can also add a delay, though it will take time until the grenade explodes. But that's all for now. Kinda killed the AI. One more thing I want to do, but I'll do that in the next tutorial, is add that it will lose health for the player 2. 2. So we'll do that in the next tutorial because we're already hit 20 minutes. So that's all, and bye bye.